Hello students, let's continue our chapter 14, that is ecosystem of class 12. In the first video, I have sent you the introduction of this chapter. You have to watch this video also to understand the whole chapter. So, out of important 4 functions of ecosystem, I am going to teach you about the first function, that is productivity. First, we have to understand what is productivity. Productivity is the rate of biomass production, means how much amount of biomass is produced by the living organisms, means by the plants during photosynthesis. So it is denoted by, or its unit through which it is measured is gram square inverse year inverse, means in any particular time, in any particular area, the production of biomass by the living organisms is called productivity. So, productivity is again divided into 2 types. One is primary productivity and another is your secondary productivity. You can see here, I have already written, one is primary productivity and another is secondary productivity. So let us understand what is primary productivity and what is secondary productivity. Primary productivity is the amount of biomass produced per unit time, per unit area over a time period by plants during photosynthesis. As you know, during photosynthesis, plants synthesize their food and produce a large amount of energy. That is called primary productivity. And this is, its unit is gram square inverse or kilocalorie meter square inverse. Its unit is, means the unit of primary productivity is gram square inverse or kilocalorie meter square inverse. And secondary productivity is the formation of organic matter by consumers. So here I have told you about primary and secondary. Again, primary productivity is divided into 2 types depending on how much energy is produced by the green plant and how much is used by those plants. So, primary productivity is again divided into GPP, which is called gross primary productivity, and NPP, means net primary productivity. So, what is gross primary productivity and what is net primary productivity? Gross primary productivity means rate of production of biomass or organic matter during photosynthesis. That is your gross, means whole productivity, means how much amount of production of energy takes place by the green plants during photosynthesis is gross primary productivity. The rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis. And net primary productivity means how the energy produced by the green plants is also used by them when during respiration. So we can find out net primary productivity by subtracting its respiration, means the energy that is produced by the green plants is some amount used during respiration. That's why we can define net primary productivity means gross primary productivity minus respiration. So during respiration, some amount of energy is used by the green plants and the remaining energy is called net primary productivity. So here we can see again the secondary productivity we have already discussed. So as we know, green plants are the chief producers on the earth and they provide food and other sources to different organisms. That's why if we consider the amount of energy that is produced by the green plants in the whole biosphere or on the whole earth, then it is approximately about 170 billion tons, means the total amount of biomass or organic matter produced by the green plants is about 170 billion tons, out of which the land surface, means the earth surface, 70% on earth surface, means the production of biomass is done by 70% on the earth surface and 55% on the oceans. So the energy, obviously we can see here the energy or the organic matter or the biomass production is much more higher than that of production of the ocean. So from this we can understand that how productivity is defined as an aspect of ecosystem. So here we can see that the productivity again in case of decomposition means decomposition is another function of ecosystem. As we know, there are four important functions of ecosystem. One is your productivity, which already we have discussed here. Next function is your decomposition. So decomposition means degradation of the organic materials. Here the organic materials are dead bodies of organisms, includes both plants, animals and other rotten organic substances. So decomposition is the process in which decomposers act on the dead organic material. So for this process there are some microorganisms are involved, but they are not directly involved. So how this occurs? For decomposition it takes some steps, means through different steps decomposition occur by the action of bacteria and fungi. So let's see the steps. First step is fragmentation, second is leaching, third is catabolism, fourth is humidification, and fifth is mineralization. Again I am repeating it. The steps that are used or that are required for decomposition are fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, humidification and mineralization. This many times in your board exams this question comes. It define what are the steps involved in decomposition. So these are the steps. So let us understand these steps in detail. First, fragmentation. What do you mean by fragmentation? Fragmentation means when the organic materials or the organic substances cut into pieces or they convert into simpler forms. So this takes place by the help of detrivorous. So let's understand what is detrivorous. Detrivorous are those organisms who feed on the dead and decaying organisms or dead and decaying organic materials like your degraded leaves and parts of organisms. So earthworm is the example of detrivorous, and during fragmentation earthworm converts the organic material into simpler forms due to which other microorganisms can easily convert these organic materials to nutrients. So next step is leaching. In leaching, what happens after conversion of simpler organic materials by the detrivorous, which is the first step, that is fragmentation. In case of leaching, the nutrients means the water soluble inorganic nutrients are absorbed after detrivorous action or after action of the detrivorous. The water soluble inorganic materials are absorbed by the soil and that is taken by the green plant. So this is called leaching. Next is your catabolism. As you know, during catabolism complex substances get converted into simpler ones. So in catabolism, here some bacteria and fungi which are also called saprotrophs. Sapro means to decompose, means their main function is to decompose the organic materials. So here catabolism is defined as the conversion of complex substances into simpler one by the action of bacteria and fungi by secreting a special type of enzyme which only acts on the degraded materials. So this process is called catabolism, means which is your third step in the decomposition. Next, fourth, your humidification. What is humidification? After action of the bacteria and fungi, the next step, humidification, dark colored amorphous substance is formed on the surface of the soil, means which is fertile and it has the high fertility power which gives to the soil. So dark colored amorphous substance is formed which is called humus. Again, this step is completed and after formation of humus, mineralization occurs. Mineralization means minerals are converted and again return to the soil. So degradation of humus by microbes and releasing of inorganic nutrients into the soil. So here what happened? Humus is again degraded by microbes and returned to the soil for the absorption. Again I am repeating this as this is important. The question will arise, what are the steps that is needed for decomposition? The steps are fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, humification and mineralization. In fragmentation, important role is played by earthworm. In leaching, here absorption of water-soluble inorganic substance. In catabolism, there are bacterial and fungal actions takes place by secreting special type of enzyme which converts into simpler form. And in fourth step, humification, in which dark colored amorphous substance, you know amorphous, one is crystalline and is amorphous which is so smooth and slippery. Then mineralization, in mineralization the degraded humus is converted by minerals by the action of microbes. So these are the important steps that are used in decomposition. Next is, what are the factors that control decomposition? Here we are studied that these steps are required for decomposition, and here I will tell you that what factors control the rate of decomposition. As we know, and you have already studied in class 11, what are the factors that decide the rate of decomposition? Means humidity, temperature and climatic condition. You know that during less temperature or where humidity is less and temperature is less, the rate of degradation is less, means it will not decompose. That's why we put the food in the refrigerators to keep them for a long time period. Exactly what happens here, if the temperature is less, then the degradation process will decrease and it will take a long time for converting into minerals. So here, as the decomposition is an aerobic process, so it's required maximum amount of oxygen. So we can say this is an oxygen requiring process as well as temperature. So here if the temperature is maximum, also it affects the rate of decomposition. So we can say a moderate average temperature is required for the decomposition. So the most two important factors are here, oxygen and temperature, which controls the rate of decomposition. Here another thing comes, which substances get degraded faster and which substances get degraded slower. The substances which are rich in lignin and chitin. As you know, lignin is present in the plant tissues which provides strength to the plant, and chitin is the substance which is present in the cell wall of the fungus as well as other arthropods and some species also. So here the rate of decomposition will slow if the material contains, the material means the material which goes for degradation, if it contains lignin and chitin, the process of degradation will be slow, and the process of degradation will be fast if it contains nitrogen and sugars, which are water soluble substances. So this is your productivity and decomposition. Next we will study about energy flow.